Check it out.
Good morning. So yeah, I thought I'd just make this little video to finish up with Argentina, give like my little thoughts and stuff like that. Just quickly though, we're just in Valparaiso, which is in on the coast of Chile now. Got a pretty sick little view from our bedroom window. It's like the dock just below us, and the whole town or the whole city's like on a hill pretty much. It's all the way up that way, and fucking city's covered in street art. Some there, there's another cool one down there, and yeah, the whole city is just covered in graffiti. Jimmo would love this shit. It's got a bit of a dodgy feel to it too, because all the fucking houses look like shit, all the windows are broken. It kind of looks nice from far, but up close it looks like shit. But yeah, anyway, finishing up on Argentina, a country where men kiss other men to say hello, which is just a huge Italian and Swiss kind of population or mix, so everyone's got huge schnozzes. Marissa, apparently it's a well-known fact that Argentinian men are some of the hottest in the world. Yeah, there's a fair few edgy-looking dudes, so I guess she likes that. It's not hard to beat the average Peruvian dude. He's got a big potato head and looks like shit. The women, I don't know. I didn't really think too much of the women. They usually had big noses and kind of skinny faces as well, so they looked a bit radish, but I only went to Bariloche and Mendoza, so they were like kind of smaller towns or cities, so I guess all the young hot population probably moves to Buenos Aires or abroad or to uni places, whereas these are more like little towns for adventure shit. Yeah, the people are fucking lazy. Yeah, so all the shops shut. Well, they don't even open till like 9. They close at like 1 and then reopen at 4:30 or 5. And then close again at like somewhere between like 8 and 10, but with different people. So it's, yeah, they're just fucking lazy. And yeah, at first when I kind of found that out, I was like, oh, that's really cool, you know. You're just jealous that they're not working as hard as you, but it gets really annoying when you want to buy something. Even the pharmacies close in that time, the supermarkets close, everything closes, the bottlers close, so it's really just a pain in the ass. And it's kind of no wonder why their economy's in the fucking toilet. Yeah, they're lazy with their language as well, or maybe not lazy, but they've changed the Spanish language a lot. They've got a lot of their own little words, so it's kind of quite hard for a foreigner. Even Marissa had to like kind of double check what some words meant. You'd think it was going to be like a really cheap place to go. The exchange rate for the Aussie dollar is like $1 buys 6.7 off the Argentinian pesos, but what you can actually do with 67 pesos isn't a whole lot. I mean, you get a fucking chicken sandwich, like a shit chicken sandwich or something, for like 80 to 100. So it's like, yeah, $12 sandwiches and shit like that. They've got some really nice places to go for like meat and barbecues and stuff. I mean, the main food is kind of meat and barbecues, but that's super expensive. I mean, one dinner we paid like 450 pesos or something. So what's that? That's like, I don't know, nearly $100 for dinner or something. I mean, that was a nice restaurant though. The wines are cheap as shit and they're delicious. We went to a few wineries, stocked up on some wine, and you can get a nice bottle of wine, like a really nice bottle of wine, for probably like $5 or something. So that was pretty cool. I mean, that's where you save your money. You go out to a nice restaurant, you pay a lot for the food, but you get a couple of nice bottles of wine, and so it kind of evens it out. It's funny that they all seem, because their economy's in the toilet, I still don't exactly understand the reason why, but people on the street will offer you a lot more for American dollars than in an exchange office or a bank. In a bank, the official exchange rate's like $1 US gets you, I think, like 8. And on the street, people will offer you 10, 11, 12 pesos for $1 US because they're all collecting the US dollars. I don't know, maybe to get the fuck out of there, or maybe just to keep them in case their economy does a huge dive again, which it does frequently. So yeah, that's a little bit strange. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not strange, but when we first arrived and you see these people trying to offer you heaps of money for your dollars, you're like, are they going to give me fake money? You know, usually if an offer's too good to be true, it usually is, in my experience. Yeah, so the main foods are, like barbecue, kind of meat plates, empanadas, which are like little pastries full of meat or cheese or whatever. They have a lot of pizzas and pastas as well, which is coming from like the Italian influence, but other than that, they don't have a whole lot of variety in food, but much more than the Chileans. I'll talk more about Chile in another video. So summing up on Bariloche. So Bariloche, really beautiful place. I wish we went there in like January and December like we were kind of supposed to. Obviously I had to go back for surgery, but that was when we were supposed to go there. Just beautiful scenery, beautiful location, just huge hills covered in just awesome looking rocks and trees. I know once again I sound like a wanker, but just a beautiful part of the world. Huge kind of Swiss input there, like all the Swiss people apparently it kind of reminded them of home, so they all moved there, so you've got these awesome looking kind of log cabins and really kind of European feel there. It's really expensive in Bariloche. I think it's just because it's a small town in the middle of nowhere and it's a real touristy spot. So you're paying a lot for things there. But no, definitely a good place to go. Once again, I wish I went there in the summer. There seems to be a lot more happening. These days the Argentinians kind of shut down their own industry in April, even though it's still supposed to be going in April. So you couldn't do a lot of the things like rafting and even hiking. They were like, no, the trails are shut. I'm like, what do you mean the trails are shut? You can just fucking walk. So from April till I think like September, October, it's just going to get fucking freezing there. A lot of industry shuts down. They do have like skiing and snowboarding and stuff there, so it's a different reason to go in the winter. But the kind of big draw cards are the trekking and the climbing and the rafting and stuff, which we didn't really get to do much of. Mendoza, beautiful. Whoever planned it loves trees. There's fucking huge trees on either side of the road, everywhere you go. Really nice, big, wide streets. Huge footpaths as well, so it's got a really nice, relaxed feel about it. Yeah, I mentioned before, maybe in one of the other videos, that like it's a little bit dodgy though. They've got this kind of huge drain system running along the street though, which kind of waters all the trees, which is pretty kind of clever. But at the same time, it kind of gives you these huge holes that you can fall into. So it's definitely they definitely weren't thinking about the smartphone age when they built them. I bet you heaps of fucking people fall in there when they're drunk or checking their phone or, not concentrating. So we went to a few wineries there, fucking awesome wines, really cheap. Went to some night markets as well, heaps of these Argentinians are little hippies that make shit with their hands, so there's some nice kind of handmade stuff. Marissa bought a couple of handbags and stuff. The day that we went to Aconcagua was like a voting day in Argentina, so we couldn't actually get a tour, but the hostel we were staying at the time was pretty cool, and the guy running it kind of hooked us up with one of his friends who drove us out there, who was Agustin, who you would have seen in the other video. He was a massive chiller, huge hippie guy. He always if we were after a proper tour guide, he would have been shit because he didn't know any of the information. He'd always start telling you something and then just kind of veer off without finishing his sentences and stuff, so that's pretty funny. But I didn't care about all the facts. I just wanted to have a good time, and he gave it to us, and we just pumped my beats in the car all day, so that was cool. Yeah, we tried to go out that night before, but I think it was because of voting, or maybe because it was April and it's getting towards the end of the season. There really wasn't much happening, which was a bit of a shame because Hadn't really had a night out on the trip yet because I was just recovering from jet lag and we were just trying to do a lot. Oh yeah, one other really funny thing though was, it's like Friday and Saturday night is like between like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is like family time. Like I've never seen so many kids on the street with their families, like of all ages, from like babies to like, I don't know, 10-year-olds or something. Just kids everywhere. Like, you know what it's like if you're walking down George Street in Sydney and you're pissed off your face at midnight. You feel really awkward when you see a family walking past. You're like, what are they doing here? Are they in the wrong spot? Kind of feel sorry for them. Mendoza, no, it's like the opposite. It's kind of weird if you're not with your kids and your family walking down the street at midnight. So that was kind of funny and different. I guess because they fucking sleep half the day. It's probably family time at midnight. And yeah, so that was Argentina. As I said, we're in Chile now. I'll do a Chile video later on. But yeah, the basic plan is we're going to be in Valpo or Valparaiso, depending on how you want to say it, for the next couple of days, and then we're going to go to Viña del Mar, which is really close, but it's a much nicer area apparently. Here feels a little bit dodgy, whereas Viña is kind of like the nicer part. But yeah, going to go walk around town today, see some of the street art, go up some hills. They've got these like kind of old school cable car things, not cable cars, like ones that go on like tracks that go up all the hills because it's all on a hill. But yeah, I'll word you later.